told my dad, the auto dealer, when he looked at me with shock and horror that his daughter was going to be an environmentalist. He thought we were on opposite sides of the war. This is an indication that, in fact, we can be on the same side of the debate, right?
Yeah.
But I have a question. We're talking about zero.
Jessy, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you have a car?
Of course I have a car.
What do you drive?
I drive a Mini Cooper right now.
Okay, but it's electric? It's electric car?
Not electric yet.
There we go.
Maybe after this conversation that'll
I'll ask
change.
you a question. How an environmentalist can drive something else than an electric car?
It's a great question, and it leads to a follow-up question I have. So we're talking about zero-emission vehicles. Except in the country that I come from, if I plug something into an outlet right now, the energy that is powering that appliance or my hypothetically new electric vehicle is coming from a coal-fired power plant. And in fact, across the world, we have yet to update our energy infrastructure so that we can plug vehicles in and have clean, renewable energy powering them. So in fact, it won't be electric vehicles alone that will get us to the solution we need to rising emissions globally. And I just came off 4 years of blood, sweat, and tears in trying to pass a climate policy in the United States, in which many corporations and industries fought against environmentalists and public's attempt to move towards a more clean energy future. What is your responsibility as Renault Nissan to help countries and perhaps the international community actually work towards diversifying where we get our electricity from? Is that part of the equation?
Yeah, it's part of the equation because, you know, the electric car will not be an important segment of the market without a private-public collaboration. It's not going to work. And we will not launch electric cars in countries where governments are not ready to put infrastructure and put incentive for the consumer to move towards electric cars. We made it very clear. And we are selecting countries. There are selecting countries where we're introducing the electric cars, both from Renault and Nissan, in function of the eagerness we are feeling from the decision makers into putting it in place. And the big surprise is everybody's ready. Everybody's ready. United States, Japan, France, UK, Spain, Portugal, Israel, Denmark. China is getting ready. And in countries where people are not ready, cities are jumping up. For example, Brazil is not ready because there is a lot of support for ethanol. But the mayor of Sao Paulo contacted us and said, please help me introduce electric car in my city. So what are we doing? We're not going there and saying, okay, this is my car, look how pretty it is, and how... No, we're not saying this. We say, this is the kind of incentive we're going to have to put in place. This is the kind of charging station. This is the car. This is the way we're going to recycle the battery. We are giving the whole system. We're putting in place the whole system and letting governments and cities making the decision. Now let me come to your first point. Yes, one of the main opposition to electric cars, people say it's not zero emission because electricity is not zero emission. Which is right. Electricity, if it's made of nuclear power, is zero. If it's made from hydroelectric, it's zero. If it's made from wind, solar power, it's zero. But if it's made from coal or oil, it's not zero. Well, we tested all of these, you know, using electricity with the electric car. Well, even with 100% of coal used to make electricity, the electric car is the lower emission car compared to hybrid and the other technology. So people who oppose electric car by saying, you know, some kind of electricity are making it not competitive are wrong. Yes, it's not zero emission because of the electricity production, but it's still the lowest emission car that you can find. And I think also that because the car now is susceptible of being zero emission, there's going to be an incentive for government to try to kill coal and kill oil as source of energy and moving towards more sources of energy which are zero emission.